Hi everybody, my name is Melissa and I go by Geeky Witch here on FlossTube and Missy Witch on Instagram. And if you know me from blogging days, I am Missy's Musings, Rambling of a Geeky Witch. There's a big theme, as you can see, with names here. Welcome to another edition of my FlossTube. It is Monday, September 28th, 2020. If you are celebrating Yom Kippur today, I hope you are having a meaningful fast, that it brings you great peace and a happy new year to you all. If it is just another Monday for you, happy Monday. It's just another Monday here. It's week umpteenth. I think I'm actually up to 26, 28 of working from home now, which is surreal. This was supposed to be a 2-week thing back in March, and here it is, the end of September. I'm still home. There's no timeline of when we're going back to the office. I guess they've done a soft opening at my office this week, but those of us who take public transportation aren't allowed to go back yet because we can't contact trace, which makes total sense. And honestly, I'm kind of liking this work from home thing, surprisingly. So, you know what? I'm just rolling with it. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, let's see. What else has been going on in my life? Well, my son started school about a week and a half ago. He is in 2nd grade now. He did the first 3 days remote, and then he went back full time. It seems to be going pretty well. There's a lot of kids that are not in school publicly, so my worries about him being in an overcrowded classroom seem to have been put aside. He seems to be doing really well. I think he's happy to be back at school. I think he's sick of being with me every day, to be perfectly honest. And, you know, he's a 7-year-old boy. He needs his friends. So, yeah, so that's rolling, and I'm kind of enjoying the whole being able to drop him off and pick him up every day, because I really haven't had that before. My commute to Boston was so long that I haven't been able to enjoy some of that stay-at-home mom stuff. So I'm kind of just taking it in. But everything's fine here. My husband and I celebrated our wedding anniversary this past week. We've made it to teenagehood. We've been married 13 years now, which is crazy. And next year we'll have been a couple for 20 years. And that just blows my mind that I've known someone and been in a relationship with someone for that long. One of these days I'll get him on a video, but it'll take a little while. I've got a cat at the door. Sorry. Yeah, so other than that, things have just kind of been rolling, and I've been stitching, and I've just been trying to just move on with the new normal, because the world as a whole is in such a stressful place right now, and trust me, I'm feeling it. I'm just trying to put it off to the side for this video, but I've been freaking out a lot with the politics. We're not going to go into that right now. If you want to talk to me about it, feel free to send me a private message or find me on Instagram. We can chat all day about that. So let me get on to some stitching. It has been a great month, and I've got all 3 of the ornaments done that I need to send out for exchanges, and they all need to go out for exchanges like today, which is why I'm doing this video now, so I can show them off and then literally package them up. So let me get started on those. The first one is To All a Good Night. This is from the Just Cross Stitch ornament issue from 2018. And I finished it. This is the first flat ornament I've ever done. I'm not completely thrilled with it, but it's because I'm not really a good finisher with some techniques, and obviously this is my first one, so of course I'm not going to be that great with it yet. But I'm happy enough with it. So that's the front, and the back I have Santa hat fabric that I found at Joann's a few years ago. The trim is also from Joann's. That's recent. So if you like this trim for your Christmas ornaments, you might be able to find it right now. I stitched this on a 32 count blue, I can't remember, it's I know it's a Zweigart. I'll check that and put it in the notes later. But yeah, 32 count with stuff from Stash. And now there's a truck going by. Oh, this is going to be a comical video. Okay. Hey, again, we'll roll with it. All right, go away. Go away. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah. So this is the first ornament I did. Flosses are from Stash. Roughly what was called for, but you know, it's ornaments. I tend to use up the dregs I have to do ornaments, or whatever's close enough. If it'll work, it works. So that's that one. And that one is going for a private exchange on Facebook, and I'll be sending that one off to the UK later today. The second one is for the Stitchers Coven exchange on Facebook, and this is a Halloween exchange. And this is my little owl. And I'm actually happy with this one. This is by Punchoka, and it was in the October issue of Just Cross Stitch, not the Halloween special, just the regular October issue of Just Cross Stitch this year. It's stitched on 28 count, a very old silk weaver. I don't know if this color is made anymore. It's called Purple Fog. I had it in my stash from like 15 years ago. And flosses are DMC 310 and then just stuff I had in stash again. Trim is from Joann's. It's a little deceiving. Yes, it's the dots, but there's also like a ribbon line underneath. So I could attach this, and then to make the hanger, I just trimmed off the ribbon so it would all match. And the back is orange and black polka dots. I picked this fabric up from a quilting shop in Franklin, Mass. Called Emma's Quilt Cupboard. They do a lot of really neat cuts of fat quarters that are just ready to go. And so whenever I'm up in that area, I just kind of grab a few that catch my eye. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. This one is staying in the States. And I hope that my partner, who does not know who she is, will really enjoy her. So I think she's adorable. I'll probably make this one for myself later. And then the third one I just finished yesterday, hot off the needle, is my copy of Theresa Wenzler's Beginner Whitework Ornament, finished as a Biscornu. I have my 2020 on the back. If you've never made Biscornus, they are a lot of fun, and it's really satisfying to get them to come out as you're stitching, because I mean they form the shape as you whip stitch the sides together. They're surprisingly easy to do, and they look a lot more complicated than they are. I don't remember where I got this ribbon for, I've had it forever. So it's probably a Joann's special from ages ago, but it's pretty basic ribbon. This is on 28 count solid red. It's not Zweigart. I don't know what brand it is. It was a piece that I just had in my stash. And I actually did most of the stitching on this 10 years ago or so. Finished it up when I saw I was missing some stitches after my last video. And then threw on just a quick little stitch in the corners, just so that, you know, you see it when you turn it around. And yeah, and that's how these Wenzler ornaments look like in Biscornu form. I really like this because it just adds a little dimension onto the tree. It's a little different. You know, it's a pillow ornament, but just a little extra. I probably did put this one a little, I did the back stitch that you use to attach the whip stitch. I may have put it a little tight in. It's only about like 6 holes, so it's a little tight, but I like it and it's cute. This one is going all the way to Taiwan. So hopefully it gets there by Christmas, but it'll get mailed out today or tomorrow morning, so we'll cross our fingers. Yeah, so those are my finishes, and I'm happy about all of them. I will be posting pictures of them on my blog because, you know, I need to for posting rights. So if you want to see more close-up pictures, feel free to go over there. It's misi.net/misiblog. And it'll be up there, for today, so September 28th. Yeah, so that's my finishes. That brings me up to a total of 4 for the year, which I know for a lot of people is not that many. I see FlossTubers that are just like going through and doing a ton. That's not me. I tend to work on huge projects. So 4 finishes of any size for me is a fantastic year. The fact that 3 of them are completely finished objects is awesome. So I'm really happy about that. And now that I have my obligation stitching done, the rest of the year for me is going to be nice and relaxed. And I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to be just stress-free stitching for the rest of the year. I'm kind of just play it by ear and see how it goes. Right now I'm juggling 3 projects. The first one is I Love New England by Sampler Needlework. That would be this one here. It is out of print. It is a kind of a rare chart. I absolutely love it. It's absolutely huge. But all full crosses with a little bit of back stitching along the vines on the border. That's it. So it's an easy stitch. It's just a big stitch. And I have been working on the right half of the top page, so page 2, and this is where I'm at. So all of the words for the top, I want to say third of the words are now in. As you can see, I've got border to do, but I will be able to cut off quite a bit of my extra fabric as soon as I get this side down here on the right done. I was kind of laughing because I was listening to, I believe it was Lindy Stitches yesterday, and she was commenting on how she always uses like, oh no, I'm sorry, it might not have been, it might have been 2 Martini Stitcher. Well, in any case, stitchers who leave way too much fabric when they stitch. Yeah, that would be me. I'm one of those. I will trim it up once I know what my dimensions are, but I would much rather keep a big pile of fabric until I know my outside borders so that I don't run out. And maybe I'm being over paranoid, but I just would rather play it safe than sorry. So I probably have a good, 10 inches? Because I think this outside border here is probably about here. So I've got a decent amount here, but hey, it's white. I'll be able to use it for other stuff. But so that's where that is. My focus is to continue the border and completely finish up page 2. So, I'm just going to bring this around. Yes, I know, folks, I have unfinished stitches up here. All good. I'm well aware of that. They're going to get taken care of as I go back to borders. And yeah, I'm just going to play along and get this one continuing. No timetable to get it done, but hey, making progress on it is great. And this project is going to be probably my focus for a Apocalypse project next month, which is to stitch a minimum of a minimum of a stitch per day. I need more coffee. For every day in October. I'm going to increase that to 10 stitches because those 10 stitches are going to be border. It's going to be solid lines and there's a lot of it. So if I do 10 stitches a day minimum on that border every day, it'll move it along. There's probably not joking, there's probably about 2,000 to 5,000 more to do on that border. There's actually probably more than that. So as I'm looking at the picture going, there's a lot of border. There's a whole lot of straight border to stitch on this. So that's going to be my focus for the 1-a-day challenge on the Apocalypse that I run just to keep things moving along. I'll also be, tinkering on other stuff. So I'm kind of going to be bouncing around a little bit on that one, but it'll be very nice to have some great progress on this the rest of the year. The next project I've got is And They Sinned. I've had a couple of my friends from stitching have been like, Melissa, you need to get back to this thing. You need to get back to this thing. I know, I've been wanting to get back to this thing. I've just been running so crazy that I keep forgetting to get back to this thing. But for the rest of the year, Sundays are going to be devoted to And They Sinned. Promise. I have mine here. I have not worked on it since I last showed this, but because I've been frantically doing ornaments. But now that the ornaments are done this Sunday, I will start picking this back up. This is my copy. I am doing this on 56 count, over 2 with 1 piece of thread. I am doing it in the called for threads, and I need to use a teeny tiny needle and short lengths, otherwise this gets all fuzzy. But it's been surprisingly not bad to stitch. For perspective, this is about the size of a quarter. This whole thing is about 6 inches and change, maybe across, maybe 7. Yeah, it's tiny, but it looks awesome, and it has not been that bad to stitch on. Once you get it's hard for the first like 2-3 stitches when you start a motif, but then your eyes lock in on the grid of the fabric, and it's not that bad. I've been kind of surprised. And the real key for this is good lighting. I do not need to use a magnifier, believe it or not, for this, which I'm surprised about. I do have one, but I haven't had to use it. I just need to have really good light, and that's been one of the reasons I haven't worked on this, because my old OttLight died at the beginning of the summer. And with all the restrictions on going to buy things, I just kind of was like, oh, when I can go back to Joann's, I'll buy one. Oh, when I go back to Joann's, I'll buy one. And then my friend Amy, Gable Stitchers, reminded me that she had a spare that she had bought a while ago that's brand new that she wasn't using. Do I want it? Sure. So I bought it off of her, and now it's glorious. I can stitch at night again, and life is much better. Let me say that. So, And They Sinned will be coming back out because I finally have the lighting supply I need. And we'll see how much progress I make on that through the rest of the year. I would like to really get that top cloud. Let me pull that back out again. There's a really huge cloud, and you can barely see it here because it's kind of in a light gray, but gigantic cloud. And I want to at least get that kind of defined and get the items that are in it defined so that I can use And They Sinned, oddly, as mindless stitching when I'm hanging out with my friends on Zoom, because the rest of it's just going to be fill-in work. So if I can get that done, that will make life go a lot faster on this piece. So that's Sundays through the rest of the year. And the final piece that I have going right now is a new stash buy. I did not think I was going to buy anything else this year, but a couple people were starting it. I don't know how I missed this when the announcement went out, but it's adorable. So I started Coming to America. And this is by Brenda Gervais. So With Thy Needle and Thread. I believe it's a limited edition kit. The kit came and it was really nice. Came in a box, had, a really nice presentation of the stuff in there, plus some fabric that had a reproduction manifest of who was on the Mayflower, and a little needle minder, which you'll see when I put my piece up to the screen. I was actually impressed. It's one of those pieces that I got and I was like, oh wow, they put some thought into putting this kit together. Okay. I live about 90 minutes from Plymouth. So for me, it's a local thing. Plymouth is one of those towns that I do think it's a fun day trip if you're in the area in, southeastern Massachusetts. Don't go there if you're ever traveling around here just to go see the Rock. Seriously, don't. You will be so disappointed. It's a couple of my friends call it the Pebble, and they're about right. But if you're going from Boston to Cape Cod or Cape Cod to Boston, it's a nice place to stop off for like an afternoon. It's a cute little town. There's some neat little shops, grab lunch or grab dinner, go to the Mayflower Museum, just walk around, go say, hey, I saw the Rock, because it's there. But seriously, don't go out of your way just to go see the Rock. It's a rock that has 1620 stamped on it. That's it. Anyway, I digress. So, but because this is the 400th anniversary of this, it's kind of one of those pieces. It's like, yeah, I want to do this one. So this is where I am at, starting it off. Right now, just borders and starting the birds on the top. You can see my cute little pilgrim up here. And last night, I started just kind of throwing in the wave definition to block off the top section, because that's right where Cape Cod cuts off. That's where the top of this pattern, or the top page of this pattern is. So I'll be tinkering with that for a little while. Again, I'm not in the whole rush of, I'm going to stitch this in the time that it took them to get from England to the US. Not going to happen. But it's a fun piece to stitch. That border actually, it just kind of goes so fast because it's so simple, but it looks really, really pretty. And this is on 36 count. They didn't have any 40 count left in stock, so I opted to go for the 36. I'm stitching with one thread over two, which worked great for this. I'm a little worried this might be too light, but we'll see once I get like the feet and the bead, the beaks of these birds in, and if they're not showing up, I'll just put like a really, really light defining outline in like a light gray around them, just so that they pop a bit more. But yeah, so that's the only thing I've purchased recently, and I think it's going to be a fun stitch. And that's about all I got for this time. But I want to make sure I got this posted because, like I said, I need to get those ornaments out, because the deadline for the Halloween one is in 2 days, and the deadline for the Theresa Wenzler one, which is, on a group, I'm running the actual exchange, so I probably should be responsible and get mine out on time. That's also on the 30th, so I gotta move a little bit. But, so that's it, I think, for this round. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are keeping healthy and happy with your loved ones. Thank you for joining me for a little bit of time, and I will see you next time. Bye.